And just a quick little ditty about me. If you don't know me or don't know anything about me, or you don't even know how you ended up here this morning. I've been with eXp Realty specifically since 2017. I'm currently on the Agent Advisory Council and my term is up at the end of December. I do sell real estate actively. And I also, through a series of events, started teaching kvCore. And how it happened is when we got kvCore as a company at eXp, in 2018 spring, there was a lot of struggling and a lot of complaining. And I just kind of started digging in and trying to figure it out and started doing little Zooms to, hey, let's figure this out together. And we, I teach some things that I was learning. And then people are like, hey, can you put this on YouTube? And sorry, there's a little kid yelling outside, but he's having fun. So we're going to let him do that. Anyway, people are like, oh, can you record this? Can you put this on YouTube? And I'm like, oh, I don't have time for that. Can you set me up? I'm like, I sell real estate, people. I'm not here to be your tech support. And so, but it has turned into this thing. And now I have a company, I have 6 employees. We do setups for kvCore, Facebook, WordPress. It has turned into this whole thing. And I give a lot of free content. If you don't know that, I have a ton of my content on YouTube and Workplace. If you're an eXp, but I help both eXp agents and non-eXp agents. It doesn't matter to me. And so that's a little intro. I'm in the Grand Rapids area of Michigan. And that is that. This is my YouTube channel. And I have a ton of trainings on here. And one, like I think it's my most played, has 26,500 views on it. And it's how to set up your kvCore website from start to finish in 2019. kvCore has changed quite a bit. And so that's one of the reasons I'm like, we need to do an update on that. Following that training, I also did this one, my magical series of really setting up everything that you needed to know about kvCore and getting things set up. And that's a great training. It's kind of broken up into little pieces and filled in better, but also older, and older training. So that's why I'm doing this all new one that is going to be just like this one that has 26,000 views, because I'm like, people must like it. So here we go. Ready? Today, I'm going to be setting up this agent's website. So it's kind of like a blank slate. It's just got the default background pictures, the default templates, no website title, just as Austin, Texas real estate. That's fine, but we can make it better. It's just a blank slate. She's not done anything here. Okay. And so this is the site we're going to be setting up today. So we're going to set up our kvCore website from start to finish. So what is kvCore? And again, I'm going to not spend too much time on this because I'm going to point you in some directions when we're finished, but it is your consumer facing website. It gives you lead generating tools that you can use. It's a CRM, so you can manage your database, your sphere, your clients, other agents. Offers drip campaign tools and mass email tools, mass text tools, call capture. So that's what it has. Okay. It's not turnkey ready. So when you get your kvCore account, those of us with eXp Realty, we have to opt in for our kvCore accounts. And I will allude to that if somebody has a major question about that. But basically, if you're an eXp, you opt in to get your account and you get your login credentials sent to you. And then you've got kind of like a blank slate. Honestly, it's not turnkey ready. I don't know what happens if you're in a different brokerage, how it's set up, but this is an eXp. That's how it is. There's some setup you got to do. It is an evolving product. It keeps changing, keeps growing, just like anything, any technology. And so you get to be a part of its creation. By not complaining, but contributing. And I'm going to kind of talk about that, I hope. It does have lead generating capabilities that are very powerful, but it's not just a magical automatic thing that's going to happen for you unless you put some things in place. And you definitely do need a social media presence. People say, well, do I need social media? Yeah, Do you have to have that set up right now before you set up your kvCore? Nope. Okay. So that's the first little ditty I want to tell you. So a lot of you got kvCore, or you joined Epique Realty, or you joined your brokerage because they offered kvCore, and you heard you were going to get all these leads. They were just going to rain on you. And that is not true. Okay. So you are going to get leads if you do these things. So I'm sorry to tell you, but as a realtor, you basically have to learn how to do everything because you're an entrepreneur, you're your own business owner. So unless you have a bunch of employees that can do it for you, you have to know marketing, you have to know social media, you have to know negotiating, you have to understand, what an appraiser does. You have to be able to even, evaluate a house like an appraiser might. You have to understand like your contracts and sales skills and bookkeeping. And yes, that is your life now. Okay. All right. So people ask, well, can I just pay for leads? Absolutely. You can pay for leads, but you still have to have kvCore set up to some extent to help manage those leads. And guess what? When you pay for the leads, you got to call those people. Like, even if you got free leads or paid leads, do you even deserve those leads? Because do you even try to convert them, or do you maybe call them one time? Or do you try to just leave them alone and let the automatic campaigns hopefully convert them up for you? Because that's cute, but it's not going to happen. Okay. All right. So let me just say, to generate free leads online and even paid leads, you've got to post your website links and your squeeze page links on digital channels. Okay. So in case you were wondering, that's how you're going to drive people to your website. And I'm going to try really hard to be able to cover as much as possible, but I have so much resources and training available that you'll be pointed in directions to fill in some blanks. Okay. So I'm not going to be able to do everything to teach you everything I've learned since spring of 2018 about kvCore, but I'm going to try. All right. So quickly, and I will point you in some directions where you can get more time on this. But there are some things to consider when you're setting up kvCore. The first thing you want to consider is your domain. What do I mean by that? Well, if you are an agent with EXP, for example, when you opt in for your kvCore website, you're going to be given a domain like something like this, klindquist.exprealty.com. That is the website address. This is her URL. This is her domain for this website. So you're going to be given one. From there, you have a couple of options. You can just keep it. I've kept mine. Okay. So let me just show you mine. So here's my kvCore website, sylviadana.exprealty.com. Okay. So you can just do that. That's one option. Another option is to forward your domain. So Kay, I know she has a domain, and she, I think, wants to be able to forward it. But she hasn't yet, because she told me it was Kay Lindquist and it didn't work. klindquist.com, and it doesn't work. So she hasn't forwarded it. So what this means is if she purchased this domain on GoDaddy, and she went to her domain that she purchased on GoDaddy to manage it, she could then forward it to her kvCore website. So she could just tell people, go to klindquist.com, and then it's going to forward to her kvCore website. So what do I mean by that? Well, I have, not on kvCore, but I have this, this domain I'm forwarding, sylviasystem.com. And when it goes there, it forwards to the true domain, which is the sylviasystem.mykajabi.com. Okay. So my true domain's still there. It's still built in, but when people use that sylviasystem.com, they're forwarded here. So she could do that. So these are the cheapest, freest options, right? I mean, obviously she's got to pay for her domain, but it's $12 a year or whatever. The other option is a vanity domain. So let me show you what a vanity domain is. So this is a team website. And yes, they've completely changed the template of their kvCore. Are you going to learn how to do this today? No, this takes a couple $1,000-ish to do very customized code, CSS on the back end inside kvCore that it's just not necessary, but you can do it. But what I want to tell you about is you could have this built-in email, this built-in domain. So if I go to Orlando Home Squad, you will notice it's not just forwarded, it's actually the domain. And when I click here, like let's say click on search here, the domain orlandohomesquad.com is still the primary domain. And then, the rest of the code about the search filter is there. So, so it's a true domain built into the website. Whenever you forward a domain, you never want to do it with masking. I wonder if Sierra has changed this yet. So Sierra, my friend Sierra, she has a domain here that's forwarded, but I believe she's forwarded it with masking. So how I know that is if I click here, search, notice nothing happened with this domain. It's just still. So like if she wanted to like share this link here, she couldn't, because if she copies it, she's just copying this link and it's actually not a true domain. It's not actually built into a website. And so she's actually hurting some of her lead generating abilities here. Now her true website still exists, sierraswartz.exprealty.com. It still exists. And here, if you click on search here, you'll notice it's got the full domain here. And that's what you want. So if you want your kvCore website to not just be like mine, the basic here, and not just a forwarded domain, but you want it to be built in like the Orlando Home Squad, you want that to be your true domain, then what you have to do is you have to go into the marketplace here in kvCore and you have to purchase the vanity domain add-on. Here it is. And it's like $11 a month. Okay. So that's that. Team structure. You want to consider your team structure. Like, are you a solo agent, but you have like a self-organized team, and so you want to brand yourself as a team? You can do that. It's fine. Nobody cares. Are you a domestic team, like your domestic partners, and you have a domestic team, or you just want to brand yourself that way? You can, with EXP, you can be a true domestic team and just have one kvCore account, or you can just brand one kvCore account to that team, whether it's a domestic team or self-organized team. Or you can have a team platform where you pay, if you're an EXP, you pay additional $400 a month for your team platform, where you can do lead routing and all that kind of fancy stuff. So consider what you want to do there. All right, the other thing to consider is your smart number. I'm going to go into this maybe in a little more detail later, but here's all that you need to know. Right now on Kay's website, if I click here, like on search, for example, this is likely her own phone number, because I think she did put her phone number in here, but it could be a smart number. Now the smart number is a shared number by default. What that means is when you sign up for your kvCore website and you get your account, anytime somebody calls the smart number, it can get round robin to the other agent in your area. What you need to know about it is that all text messages that come from campaigns or behavior alerts from kvCore come from the smart number. If you're using the shared number, it's fine. People, if they reply to a text, if they, it will come to you 99% of the time, but maybe not all the time. If they call the number, it's going to get round robined. So that's just something to be aware of. So you might consider purchasing your own personal smart number if you plan on using kvCore at a high level. Again, through the marketplace, you're going to do this for $27 a month extra. It took me 2 years before I finally decided to do it for myself. Even when I was using kvCore at a really high level, I was very stubborn about it until I finally decided. I noticed one of my seller leads called the number, and that lead went to a different agent, because you can see in your system where your leads are going and who they're calling, and a different agent number got dialed, but that person didn't answer. So I was saved, but I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to mess with that anymore. All right. So that's that. Consider whether you're in more than one MLS. If you're in more than one MLS and you're in eXp Realty, you have a little issue, and that is you have to get a second domain for your additional MLS. Unless you're using the team platform. If you're using the team platform, you can have up to 3 MLSs, as long as you're a member of those MLSs on your kvCore website for your domain. But with the rest of us, individual agents, you have to have an additional domain per MLS. And so what you would do is go into the kvCore marketplace and add the eXp templated website. Okay, I don't really have too much time to go into that, but that's what you have to do for now. Now that won't be that way forever. Commingling is happening. It's just not here yet. So in the meantime, wait. And as far as social media, the other thing that you want to consider for social media is that, yes, you have to have some. And the most important one right now in our current world is Facebook, having a Facebook business page. That is the number one for so many reasons, because of it, that's what's going to get found easiest. And when people meet you, you give them your business card and you don't have a strong online presence. Somebody types in, you know, Joe Schmo Realtor because they met you and they want to just look you up first. Then your Facebook business page is what's going to be the strongest if you don't have a strong social media presence. So you definitely want to have that business page. So that's to get started. The other ones I recommend are Instagram, LinkedIn. A lot of people are getting into TikTok now. I'm not, but who knows? I'm not saying never. Okay, I'm just saying not right now. But LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram and Facebook are my faves. Now, you also have to have a Google My Business page. And again, when I give you these resources at the end, you will get pointed in the right direction. But yes, the smart number is different from your cell phone number. And I would not promote my smart number on a business card or an email signature. You know, it doesn't have to be confusing. Alicia is saying it's confusing for people with her 4 MLSs. It doesn't have to be confusing. There's some solutions. Like I am in 2 different MLSs. So at the top, I just have search West Michigan properties versus Northwest Michigan properties. But what you could do is something like we did for Monica. She's only in 2 MLSs, but she, you know, works specific towns. So she wanted this locations drop down, and then each of these towns go to one or the other MLS as a drop down. You could also have some widgets like this, featured area widgets, where they click on it, it's going to go to whatever one of these 4 MLSs like that, and have that on every domain. So it just seems seamless for people and they won't notice, because you can make it the same colors, you can, you know, same pictures. And so it'll feel like it's the same website to people. Okay. I looked in my kvCore and it looks like mine are going to other agents. Can you explain how and why leads go to other agents? So yeah, if people are calling the smart number, it can totally go to other agents. So if you are using kvCore at a really high level, I mean, it costs $27 to take yourself out to dinner once a month. And I would recommend, if you want to use kvCore at a high level, to get your own smart number. It's round robin. So if you have the smart number that's shared, you're going to be sharing leads. Okay. Yes, smart numbers are different from the cell number. To purchase your smart number, you have to go into the kvCore marketplace here and purchase the smart number add-on here. No, you can't use your cell number instead because it's the smart number. It behaves a certain way. The smart number, again, when the system texts messages to anybody in your system, whether it comes from the campaigns or from behavior alerts, which are just automatic things that kvCore does, it's going to come from the smart number. There's nothing you can do about that. Some of them, with the questions you're asking, will get answered as we go. And if you take advantage of my other training that I'm going to point you to, you will get more of this, okay? Because I talk about these things at length in a variety of places. All right. So let's get started, shall we? We're actually going to start with completing the agent profile. All right. So I am here in kvCore. All right. And I'm going to go here to the top right. And I don't know if the video is covering, but at the top right, it says your name and there's a drop down and it'll say my profile. So I'm going to click on that. And you'll see here, it's just got, you know, the basic nothing. Again, this is a blank slate. And so I'm going to start filling in the blanks. Okay. So I have Kay's information here to the side that I don't think you can see, which you don't need to see. But let me fill it out. So the first thing is, you know, how she writes her name. So Kay Lindquist is it. Okay. And then her title's Realtor. So what I like to do is you can do whatever you want here in this title section, but I like to put Realtor there. And then I use one of these separators, and then I put their tagline. So this is what I do for agents. Okay. Well, I don't anymore. My employees do, but all right. And then she wants her tagline to be real estate with soul, which is super cute. All right. So that's that. And then her MLS ID. The MLS ID is usually what you are logging into your MLS with. Usually what this does, when you put this correct number here, or the correct code or username, whatever it is, it's usually your username for your MLS. When you put that in there, what that's going to do is then kvCore is going to know which listings are yours. So when it features your listings, it will be able to find yours because of your MLS ID is correct in there. Okay. If it's not correct in there, they won't show. If you have multiple MLSs and that you're connected to with kvCore, you can separate the IDs with commas. All right. Don't worry about this vendor ID thing. This has nothing to do with anything. I don't know why you can see it or whatever, but just ignore it. Okay. It shouldn't be there for you to see, quite honestly, but it's not for you. This is asking for your NERDS number. If you are a Canadian agent, you don't know what I'm talking about, but it's the National Association of Realtors for the US. You get a number. There's no reason to put it in here. You know why? Because it doesn't show anywhere on the website. So there's no point to it. You're wasting your time. So don't bother. Okay. And then that's that. So, and then the other thing we want to do is we want to add an image of Kay here. Now, I'm just going to grab this one from her Facebook, because I don't think she sent us her picture yet. So I'm just going to grab that one on Facebook that I found. So I'm going to use that for now. Can always update it later. And then you just drag the picture over here and ta-da. Now, one thing about it is it's showing her not full body, but from the waist up. So her face isn't that big, and that's fine. It's just, it's not going to show very big on the website. So we can talk about how to fix that later, but I'm not going to worry about it. And every time I do a little bit in here, I click on save because kvCore is finicky. And I want to make sure that what I did so far got saved so far. Okay. So I'm going to go back to edit again. And now I'm going to just tell you what to do here for this stuff. So she's got these 3 boxes checked. Even if she had all of these things filled in, it wouldn't matter, because only one box that's checked is going to show up. And that's always going to be the first one that kvCore can see. That's the only one that's going to show on your website. So there's no reason to have these checked. Okay. She has her cell phone here, and that was what is on her website. And I know because when I clicked on search listings, that was there. So that's her cell phone number that's showing. Again, it has nothing to do with the smart number. It just means that's what's showing on her site. If somebody, again, replies to a text that you've sent from the system that came automatically or manually from the system, and I'll get into that, or it comes from a campaign and someone texts back, it could get round robin to another agent, even that text. I've heard of it happening, rarely, but I've heard of it happening. But what can definitely happen is if that person decides to call the number, it can get round robin to another agent. So that's that. I just want to make sure y'all know that. All right. If I had my own personal smart number and I wanted my personal smart number to show here instead, all I would have to do, if that was ordered and that was good, all I would have to do is I would have to just uncheck all the boxes here and save. What this would do is if I did that and I had my own personal smart number, then my own personal smart number would be the one to override everything and show up here instead. But because I don't think he has a smart number, I'm definitely gonna check this box, and it's always gonna be whatever the first box that is checked, that's what's gonna show on your website. But it doesn't have anything to do with the smart number, having a cell phone number on there. Okay, it doesn't have, just means that that's when people look at your website and they look for your number, that's the one that's gonna show. I'm sorry you can't get sound. Does everybody else, can you guys hear me? Okay, would it be good you can use a Google Voice number? It's totally up to you. Any reason your phone number doesn't show on my site? If it's not showing, it's because you don't have the box checked. Or maybe you have different numbers here and you have them all three checked, and then kvCore doesn't know what to do with itself. So you only want one. If you're going to use one of these phone numbers, you only want one checked. You still might want to have them in here, especially the cell number, for a variety of reasons I don't have time to go into. But if you want one of these phone numbers to show up, then check one box. Only one box matters. Okay, Jody is asking, when you're a member of multiple MLSs, how is that reflected in your profile? So the only thing that you really want to do here is just put in your MLS IDs separated by commas, no spaces in here, so that on each of your MLS websites, if you're going to have multiple domains, which if you have more than one MLS, you do, but you only have one profile. So you want each of your MLS IDs filled in here so that if you have listings in any of those areas, they all are showing up on your website as your listings. But it's going to only show up on each individual listing. So I'm in a member of two MLSs, West Michigan area and then the Northwest Michigan area. Okay, and so just to kind of dial this in a little more, I've got this domain, sylviadana.exrealty.com, and everything with the MLS, Mishrick is the MLS I'm involved with on this one. It's going to show at the bottom. That's the MLS. And if I have listings in this MLS, which I do, they will show here. Okay. Now, if I go to Northwest Michigan Properties, which is a completely different domain, notice when I click it, it goes to northwestmichigan.exrealty.com, totally different domain. If I had listings in this area, which I don't, it would show here, but I don't have any. So, so it's not showing any listings. As far as having it show, well, as far as having all the MLSs all at once, you don't want a lot of gobbledygook. Like I've seen a lot of people want to put like a ton of gobbledygook in the header here. And I don't think it looks very good, but it's up to you. You can put it there if you want to, like tell them how all the 70 different designations you have and all the MLSs you're involved with. Nobody actually cares except for you. It's true though. It's true though. Okay, so let's continue on with agent profile. What's important is having an email from address, and also using this email from for notifications if you want notifications to be sent to you. I am going to see if Kate has a different, okay. So she has given me an email that she wants to use as her business email. Like she wants to be branded with this as her business email. I feel like you should just use the EXP address if you don't have a branded domain email address. Like I have hello@sylviadana.com. That's my branded email address. And that's what I use. And it's not a forwarded email, it's a real email. And that's what I wouldn't put like a Gmail account in here, but that's what she wants. So I'm putting it in there. because that's what she wants. But you want to have a from email address. And if you just, so I would either use your EXP email address or your own branded email address or whatever email address you want to use as your business address. Okay. Is the MLS ID the same as the DAR ID? No. If you don't know what your MLS ID number is, what you're going to do, I encourage you to contact your board, whoever the MLS tech person is at your board. And I would ask them, hey, I need my MLS ID to connect to my web IDX, and they will know what you mean. Okay. Can both spots have the same email? Yes. It's a good question. All right. Just looking for other things. Okay. All right. Don't worry about this personal website thing here. It doesn't show anywhere. So even if you have like your own WordPress website and you put it here, it doesn't matter. It's not going to show anywhere on the website. So why bother? This part for selecting a lender. So do you have to have a lender attached to your kvCore website? No. However, let me just kind of point something out. By default, your website has a finance tab, and there are some widgets you could choose that have like get pre-approved. So if you want people to learn about how to get pre-approved and you want that to connect it to a lender, then you have to invite a lender to join you. So it's free for them. But you just want to find a lender that will actually work this with you. So what they is going to do when they get added to kvCore, they're going to get a login credentials to kvCore just like you do, and they're going to have their own CRM. So any leads that you've allowed them to see, they're going to be able to see, and they're actually going to be able to create squeeze pages. They can create campaigns, but finding a lender who will actually take the time to learn that with you and do that with you is a challenge. Okay. But it's worth it if for that lender to do that. So I would recommend finding a young, hungry lender who needs leads and wants to work with you, and it's not going to cost them anything. Okay. So anyway, make sure your lender has a picture, it has their link to their pre-approval link. If you're going to have a finance tab or how to get pre-approved sort of link, you want to have a lender in here. And so for EXP agents, there's a form you fill out to ask EXP to add a lender for you. And if you're in with another brokerage, ask your brokerage admin what the process is to add a lender, because I don't know. But I will at the end make sure you have all the resources to do these things. Okay. She doesn't have a lender here. And so I am going to choose no, don't show on subdomain. So no lenders, no financing to show on her subdomain. If she had one, great, but she doesn't. So if she had a primary lender selected here, I would leave that, but I'm not going to. Designations doesn't matter. It's not going to show anywhere on the website. What is going to show is like your social media URLs. Now, Kay gave us a social media URL, but it's not her business page. It's just her personal profile, which I don't recommend that you put on there, but you can put on a personal profile. I recommend you create a business page, and it's your business page, not a personal profile. So for so many reasons, so a bajillion, that I don't have time to tell you about. But when you paste these URLs here, you're going to, it needs to be that full URL. So HTTPS : / the whole link. Okay. Not just the username has to be in there in order for it to work. All right. And then when I hit enter and save, that it might just show the username after a bit, but you have to enter it in as the full thing. So that's all the social media links she gave me. So I'm only going to put in that one. You can put your license number here, but it doesn't show anywhere that I'm aware of on your website. Try it, test it. It didn't in the past. Same with position. Spoken languages, I think, could matter. at a different level later. So I would encourage you to put in spoken languages. And that is that. So I'm going to save where I am here so far. Who knew the agent profile could take so long, but it can, especially when I'm explaining it. And then it's important to have a bio. So Kate did send us a little bio that I'm going to just copy and paste and put in here. It should not be long. It can be super, just a couple sentences, even a couple short paragraphs. And if you want to make it longer, okay, but you don't have to. So I'm just going to clean this up a little bit with her extra spaces, get rid of these extra spaces. And, you know, I'm going to have my tech people like redo her bio, because, you know, it's just like, I have been in Austin. I am very altruistic. I'm an Air Force veteran. I am passionate. I am here. You know, I'd like to rewrite that a little bit for her, but I'm gonna leave it for now. I don't have time. But she did a great job, and having just a short, simple bio is fantastic and important. Okay, and then having a signature. Now, when we do setups, we do pretty nice signatures for you. I'm not going to have time to show you that right now. For just now, I'm going to keep my life simple and just say you got to have one. Okay, and I'm just going to put in her information here. And let's see, put in her website. And I'm going to leave it like, oops. I am going to visit website. We'll make this pretty later for her. I just want to show you how to do it. Okay. All right, save. All right, so just at least that, maybe I could put her phone number in here too. And you can add whatever you need to do to be compliant. You can add in here, you can add your disclosures or a link to your disclosures, all that kind of fun stuff. I just, for time's sake, I don't have time to show you all that. So I'm just fixing this up and we're going to leave it like so. Okay. All right. And then there's this little link here that you do want to turn on. It's include signature on all outgoing email. And the reason you want to turn that on is because there's some system emails that can go out that won't automatically have your signature attached for some reason. So if you select this, then you can ensure it's going to get attached. And what's nice is then the system won't duplicate. It won't also send a signature. So if in the email template it's set up to show a signature, it's not going to show twice just because you have this selected. So just select that. It's got this area: credentials, background, education, experience. I've seen agents like just painstakingly fill this out, but there's no point. Notice it says the items below will not be displayed on your website. They're for information only. Okay, whose information? Yours? In case you want to be informed about yourself, you can fill that in, but otherwise there's absolutely no reason to fill any of this in. All right, isn't that fun? All right, so now that we've got that done, we're going to save it. There's some other settings I just want to point you to. If I click on agent settings, by default, it's going to make contacts private and hide contacts from your team if you're on a team. You can lead route if you're on vacation. You can also, the system will create calls for you, daily calls. And so by default, it's prospects, new leads, and active leads that the system will automatically create call tasks for you, the agent, to say, hey, Kay, here's the leads you need to call today. It rotates these different leads that have these statuses and gives you these call tasks. And those call tasks are going to show up here at the top right with your tasks for the day. And you can choose like how many calls for it to create. You can add your sphere here as a status so that they'd be included. You can do whatever you want and have how many call tasks do you want created for you each day? 5, 8. Time to send the email. I don't even understand this. I don't even ever see an email that comes to me that says, here's who you're going to call today. maybe I just get so many email, I can't see it, but I don't really understand the point of it, but it's there. And then you can choose what holidays you also want the system to create calls for you on. Like, well, I'm okay with calling people like on Veterans Day, or I'm okay with calling them on Memorial Day. If you want to do that, you can turn those on, but I'm going to leave it like that and just save it. I just wanted to point that out to you. The other thing that I'll point out, if I go to the drop down here and you go to phone, it's going to show you what your smart numbers are. And you can buy a number here. You can also set it up. So if one of these is your phone number, I don't think she has her own personal smart number. If she had her own personal smart number here, she could open that up and she could set it so that anytime somebody called that number, the call would get recorded and placed inside the contact timeline, so that you could go back to that call later. You can set that up. So that's a few things about settings I wanted to mention. And no, it isn't, Mark. That is a great idea, but no, it's not. The system will send emails whenever it damn well pleases. Here's how it works. If you get an email, if you get a lead at 6 o'clock at night, let's say you get a lead at 6 o'clock at night, then every automatic task that happens after that for like the next day always happens the next day at 6 o'clock. So if a lead comes in, then anytime they get stuff sent to them, it'll be that same time that you got the lead. Now, if you get the lead after office hours, here's something to note. So I'm going to go here to offices, and I can see that she's in Epique Realty, Austin, and it has these office hours, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Oh, it just changed automatically. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. is what these office hours. That means that emails and text from the system will only go out between these hours. So if I get a lead at after 9 p.m. and I'm in this office, quote unquote office, then that lead won't get any contacts from me, from behavior alerts or from campaigns till the next day. And so it's not going to be immediate. So anything that would have happened immediately, like an immediate text to follow or an immediate email after you got the lead, isn't going to happen till the next day, till sometime till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, for whatever reason. So yeah. Okay. We are going to talk about editing your website settings. This is the fun part. All right. And so I am going to do that. So here I am in her back, and this is case back end here in her dashboard. And I'm going to go here to Web IDX and Website Manager. And then you will notice in this area under Website Manager, it's got what domain we're talking about here, and then edit settings. So I am going to click on edit settings. And we're going to just start from the beginning, if that's okay with you. First thing to note is you can choose 2 different templates, Hero and Foundation. Don't choose Foundation because nothing that kvCore does caters to that template anymore. It's very old and archaic, and I don't even know why it still exists, because nothing that you do for website settings is going to reflect in that template. So just use Hero, because that's all you can use. What is that? That is this template. That is this general layout. Okay. Can you change this dramatically? Yes, with lots and lots of money and code and people who know how to do code. Is that necessary? I don't think so at all. Okay. All right. And then you've got this option for different homepage widgets. Right now, by default, you've got this option. This is what's by default. So if I click on here, it's going to take me to all the multifamily listings, duplexes, small apartment buildings, single family homes, land, and condos. That's just by default. And it's going to just link me to all the listings that meet those categories here. But if I want to change things up, there's some things I can do. So let's see if I can change this up to make it look prettier. So I can choose standard, modern, luxury, or side by side. So let's just go through these and look at them. Okay, I'm going to hit save. Yes, replace the existing layout. And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to hit refresh so we can see what it looks like. So here we go. So now it changed these widgets. Now I've got thinking of selling. It's going to go to my what's my home value page. Looking to purchase. This is going to take you to the search page. Get pre-approved. Start application. You don't want to have this widget there if you don't have a lender. Okay. And then blogging. Okay. If you don't have blogs, you don't want to use this template because it's not going to go to anything. So you have to watch what these templates are going to. Let's go to luxury. We'll save this one and see what it looks like. So this one, again, what's my home worth? This is meet the team. If you don't have a team, it's just going to go to your agent profile. And then get pre-approved, again, needs a lender. So we don't have a lender. So go to modern side by side now, save, replace existing. Okay, we're going to hit refresh. And now we got this option. So search starts here. What's my home worth? Listing alert, subscribe to a listing alert, get pre-approved, or contact me. Again, we don't have a lender, so no point in using that one. All right. I'm not going to use any of these because she doesn't have a lender in there, so it's not worth it. So I'm going to come back to this. All right. I do want to use the full custom width area because I think it looks better. So if you use the full custom width, then these widgets will be stretched all the way out to the end. I typically do like that, but you can change it to how you want to. So if I go back to not use the full custom width area and I hit enter, then it goes little like that. So you decide what you think looks best. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Then you can also change the template theme, like the accent color. And so what I like to do, and I notice her profile picture isn't showing here yet, and I don't know why. I just noticed that. So I want to see if I can go fix that right now. Okay, her picture's in there. The only thing I can think of, if I go back to website settings and website manager and edit settings, I'm going to make sure that it's not, her picture's not hiding on purpose. So we'll come back to this, but I just want to find it now because I noticed that and I don't know why it's like that. Oh yeah, hide agent images selected for some reason. We're going to take that off, and I just want to refresh it and see. The reason that's important is because sometimes I like to match the pictures to what they're wearing. So you see what I'm saying? This is a super small picture, so it's showing her whole upper body here. If I wanted just her face, I could like make that picture bigger and crop it and then re-add it, but this is okay. I'm going to leave that. So we've got the dark red to work with and like her blue jean color. So I'm going to change this. We'll go back up here and we're going to change this to, what if I just do regular deep blue? What happens? You guys, I haven't done a setup in a long time because now my employees do the setups for me. So it's good for me to remember what this is like. Blue Lagoon a lot. What's blue smalt? Oh, I know that's a really bright blue, like an EXP blue. Blue gray. If I go blue gray and hit save. Okay, we might start there and I can always change this, but you mess around till you like a color. There's also, oh, it allows custom here. All right, let's see. I can show you how you can be super fancy. I'm going to click on custom and then you can choose a color. And I'm going to choose a hex color. And how I do this is if I go, oops, if I go over here, I've got this little Chrome extension called Eyedropper. I am going to pick a color from a web page and I want to do like her jean jacket color. So I'm going to choose that one. And then it shows me this color right here. Okay. And then I'm going to find my hex color. There it is. Okay, 52, 65, 80. All right. 52, 65, 80. There. Okay, fine. So let's see what that looks like. There, now it's her jean jacket color. So, I mean, you have options here. So if you have a secondary logo, you can match it to your colors. Okay. All right, moving right along. Now it comes with these default photos checked, and I'm so sick of looking those for like the last 4 years. So I'm going to get rid of them all. You just uncheck the boxes. And just, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to add some different pictures in here. Some of these are okay, but they're all kind of pixelated. None of them are great. But I mean, this one and this one, they're okay, actually. But let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do some different pictures here. I'm going to upload my own. And so it's recommended to start with an image that's 1600 by 650 for best results. So I'm going to go to unsplash.com. And in unsplash.com, you can get free photos to use however you want. So I'm just going to type in real estate here. And she's in Texas, so I kind of got to pay attention to what, in Austin, what the pictures could be. And I think that this one could be one in Austin, Texas. No, and if you're not sure, like what you're like, I know I tell my techs, like, if you're not sure what their area looks like, search for homes in their area and it'll give you a lay of the land. So you'll see what the place looks like. So you can choose the right kind of pictures. This one's not bad. So I'm going to choose like 3 of them. Okay. And, you usually have to choose like a horizontal one looking one though. Yeah. So I'm just going to start with these 3. And then I don't think you can see this, but I can open it up here and I can actually crop the picture or adjust the size. So what I'm doing is I'm just making them 1600 wide because they said the ideal size is 1600 by 650. So right now I'm just going to make these smaller than 16 or as small as 1600 wide, so that you don't want to try to upload a huge picture that has a lot that's just too huge for kvCore. So you want it to be a small enough file, but big enough to look good. So just making it 1600 pixels wide is going to work out for me here. So I just did that. I know you couldn't see what I did, but I just changed the size I have a Mac. And so I open up the picture and it allows me to edit the size or crop. And, PCs have a similar thing. So now that I've got that, now I'm going to upload these photos. And so I'm going to just click and drag and then hit upload. And then the next one, click and drag and hit upload. And then click and drag and hit upload. Okay. So those are the photos that I've got. And I'm going to go and just refresh. And there I am. Okay. So now I've got some new pictures in here. And every time somebody comes to the website, it will rotate. It will rotate out to these 3 photos that are there. Okay, so that's the background pictures. Now let's continue on. You can add a secondary logo here. It should be like in a specific size as well. But what do I mean? So I've got my own logo right here. See, and so you can upload your own logo to that secondary logo spot if you've got your own logo. If not, it's fine. Now, the next thing I do is resources page. I do hide the resources page because the resources page is useless and doesn't matter. I don't know why it exists. So I would recommend you hide it. I would also hide the Millions Mapped app. There is an app that kvCore has, and it's super cool, but it's very glitchy, and kvCore is no longer supporting that app if there's a problem with it. and they are coming out with something new, supposedly, that I've heard this for the last year and a half. And I don't know where it is, but I wouldn't use it because kvCore itself is mobile friendly. So I would just share that as your app. But so I would hide the millions map app. The WCAG hiding that's for accessibility notices on your website. I'm not going to hide it. I'm not going to hide office information. I'm not going to hide the print flyer button. That is to allow people to print a flyer from the listing. And I'm not going to, here, see print flyer. I could print a flyer if I wanted to. And I'm not gonna not allow it. Okay. And it's pretty cool. Isn't it cute? It's pretty. Okay. All right. This is use limited listing labels. This is, if you turn this on, it's going to remove listing labels. So it's saying, do you want to use only limited listing labels? In other words, anything with just listed or open house will show, but anything else like waterfront, that won't show labels on the website. The reason you might want to do that, although I don't think it's necessary, if somewhere in somebody's listing description, they mention waterfront, or they mention water views, or they mention pools, or they mention golf, then kvCore will target those and use a label on the property that says golf property or waterfront or pools. And I think that's fine. So I'm not going to use that. This is where you can mandate a phone number. So every lead that comes in, you can require that that lead also gives you a phone number. I don't do that. I think I'm going to get less leads if I do that. And kvCore also believes you're going to get less leads if you do that. So if that's important to you, you can turn it on, but I wouldn't recommend it. Forced lead generation. I see some people, they want to give like people, you know, oh, you can look at 5 different properties. You can look at 20 properties before you have to register. Or I don't ever want to ask people to register on my website. Or I don't want to require visitors to register on my website. If you do any of that, you're not going to get very many leads at all. Okay. So I would recommend you just leave it on normal prompt required registration after a couple properties. Basically, this means you're going to be able to look at a couple of property pictures before they're asked to register. Okay, the next is website title. So right now, you will notice that there's no website title here. And by default, it just says Austin, Texas real estate. And it's not popping up. But you want this for your SEO. You want this for your SEO, the areas you serve. And so what I'm going to be doing, I need to find her thingy and look at for the areas she said she wants to serve. And I'm going to find it. All right, region you serve. Okay, so, and she gave me every city actually. So, but I'm just going to give her this terms. Okay, so Texas homes. And then Texas homes and let's see, Central Austin real estate. Okay. There. So I gave her that website title. Let's see how it looks. Texas homes, Central Austin real estate. I like it. Okay. You can do whatever you want, but I definitely recommend like the area you serve and real estate or homes in that section. Meta page, meta description. So what she actually did me a great favor. She gave me like this list of all the areas she really serves. And so I'm going to use that in this meta description. And so I'm going to write this: find homes for sale in Central Austin East Austin, Hyde Park, Domain, Rolling Wood, Bee Caves, Travis Heights, Barton Spring at eXp Realty. There. Ta-da. All right, so that's her meta description. Now, this is again helping with her SEO when people are searching for these type of keywords and phrases, then she'll be more likely to be found. One thing I want to point out for compliance. So in this footer area, a lot of you are talking about, you know, it's required for this or required for that. In the footer is where a lot of your compliant information can show. So for example, her MLS is showing here. And then she's got her real estate commission consumer protection notice and also information about brokerage service that's automatically linked in there. Now I have a little training for Texas agents, how to make your website compliant with kvCore, because my guess is that this information about broker services is not, this is not specific to her. To be truly compliant in Texas, she has to have this connected to her specifically. And I think, I don't even know if Rick Tinkersley is still the broker for that area right now, but this needs to be targeted to her. So I do have a video about how Texas agents can make their website compliant of how to link that with your Google Drive, but she can change this up, but you can put other compliant information in here. Okay, so if you need to have like your specific broker number or whatever, you can have it in here. All right. And how you would do that is you would literally just type it in. You would just type it in here. Okay. All right. And I'm going to continue on. This is if you were to have a custom chat widget like I do, for example, with my, see this little guy? Boop. This is my custom chat widget from Facebook. And people can start chatting with me here. And I've placed this on my website. So that's the area that you can put a chat bot or your Facebook business page chat code here. Otherwise, you can put your Facebook username for chat. That doesn't really work nicely. I just wouldn't recommend you even do that, but you can. And then if you have a secondary address, so like you might be with a broker that their address is different. You have a business address that you'd like to use somewhere else. So Kay did give us one, and I'm going to find that somewhere. Maybe. Oh, Lordy, somewhere. I saw it earlier. Here we go. All right, so so I am going to put something like this so that it's clear that it's the agent. So I'm going to put agent address with a separator. Is that great? Did she give me a typo? Is that Great Hills? Let's see. I think she gave me a typo. I'm going to have to double check it. Yeah, it's Great Hills. Okay, cool. Great Hills Trail, Suite 150. Okay, and then Austin. Oops. Texas, and she didn't give me a zip. Probably doesn't much matter, but let's see. That's probably it. So I'm going to just use that. All right. I'm going to save it and then watch what happens. I'm going to hit refresh here. And then there is the agent address. So because by default, you're going to either have your state address here or state location. But if you want your own business address to be listed here, you can list it however you want, but we usually identify it as this is the agent address. There it is. Okay. All right, moving right along. You're going to leave all this. That's just going to stay like that. Okay. I am going to leave this on hiding Zillow testimonials, because I'm not connecting her Zillow reviews for her. You can put in a background video in this spot. I don't like it because it really slows down your website. kvCore is already pretty slow when it comes to loading, and I don't think you really want to contribute to that by putting a background video in there. But if you wanted to, you could, and it would have to be just the YouTube ID, not the full link to your YouTube video, a YouTube ID, which is just a short number. We are going to hide the chat widget right now because she doesn't have a Facebook business page to connect to. So we are going to hide that. We are using the full width area. Now, this offers use a black color for header or primary color. I want you to see what this is talking about. If I click here on search, see, it shows this blue behind the EXP logo. I don't like this so much. I would only like that if the EXP logo was white, or if my own logo was white, then I would want that. So I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to say, no, don't use primary color for header. Then it gives me the option to hide my office name. What does this mean? This means, this means so that it would hide EXP Realty in Austin. If I hid this, it wouldn't show this title there. Okay, but I'm not going to hide it. Click on search again. I want to show you now that I've removed that blue header, that primary header. Now it shows like this, and it shows like on another, let's see if I show you like agent profile. So then it shows like this, that blue background, or that your accent color is going to show behind these titles. And I think it looks better personally. All right. You can use a square agent image. I'm not going to leave it round. You can hide the agent image. I'm not going to. You can use a dark background image. It darkens the background. I'm not going to do that. Or you can use a large background image. And I do want to do that. I do want to make it larger, and I'll show you what it does. It just kind of fills it out, and I think makes it look better in general. So it just makes the website, I think, look fancier personally. All right. Now we can go to the navigation here. You can choose, you just leave it on search, or you can say search Austin homes, or just leave it. You can change the cell label to like get instant home value, or you can just leave it. People know what these are, but you can change them if you want to. You can, now we're not showing the finance lead, but you can change this to get pre-approved if you did have a lender hooked up with you. Resources tab, we're hiding that, but that's what it's going to say. For the agents label, it says other, and that doesn't make any sense to me. So what I always do is I change this to agents, or just agent rather. So I change that to agent, and there it is. Now it says agent. Okay. All right. Then there's this we are hiring label. So if you're part of a team, you can link it to whatever you want, but where it is now, if I click on we are hiring, it's going to go to this really weird page where somebody can email you something, and it's like this little video about how great we are, and it doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's just something Inside Real Estate has for you, and it's not good. Okay, so we're not going to do that. So we're going to put Kay's EXP, a careers website link in there, and how I find that is guess. And it's usually your first last name .exrealty.careers if you're with EXP. And yeah, that's her phone number. So I know this is her website. So it's not going to get mixed up with somebody else who has the same name. So I'm going to use that one. So and instead of we're hiring, I'm going to put join EXP and save it. And then instead of that recruiting page, I'm going to change the link to her careers link and save. Ta-da! So now what does that look like? So agent, join Epique Realty, and boom, there we go. All right, custom pages for navigation. This is interesting. She's got something that says our agents, and that's interesting. I don't know what that is. That's great if you're on a team. We're gonna delete that. Okay, we'll come back to that. So we do have we'll come back to this navigation stuff. We hide resources, hide finance tab, hide where hiring link. We're not going to hide any of that. Although I do want to hide the finance tab and I do want to hide the resources tab. Okay. Yes, I do want to do that. We're not going to hide the your agent section from listings, but you can hide it. If you put in a tagline here, that's going to override your title, your website title. So I don't like that personally. I always just put like the tagline up where the title is. But if I put real estate was sold in her tagline, then that would overwrite her title here. And I think what's most important is showing people where you are. And this next spot, use agent info for tagline. If I choose this option, it will override anything I put in here, which I'm not going to. But if I put this in here, what's going to show then is just like the phone number, your email address, and your name in this spot. And again, I think what's most important is the area you serve, because that's what people look for. So I'm not going to do that. This option, this is if let's say you didn't want to show pending listings on your website, you can uncheck that box. Then no pending listing would ever show. It would show as off market, and it wouldn't show at all. The no picture, no property listed. If you never want commercial properties to show on your website or residential leases, if you don't want those things to be searchable or show on your website, then you can do it. Then you can delete it. Now, I have everything selected myself. And the reason I do that is because I want my site to be useful to anybody. And even if I don't serve people who lease or rent, or I don't serve commercial, I could get a referral. So I leave it. This part, coverage, only show your counties. There's no reason to select this if you have not told your brokerage what counties you want to serve only. So if you're an Epique Realty, for example, and you went to your Epique Realty tech support after you got your kvCore, you said, hey, I only want from the MLS IDX, I only want these 5 counties only to show on my website. I don't want any other counties to show on my website. These are the only areas I serve. You could do that. They could set it up that way. And if you did that, if you told them that, then you would select this box, only show your counties. Why is it like that? Don't know. This is also very weird, and it's going to take me a minute to wrap my head around this. The way that kvCore describes things is sometimes confusing. So it says, don't scrub areas, filter areas list. And I can't remember honestly what my team does for that. I taught them what to do, but it's been a while because I don't do setups anymore. So we're going to remember what this is. Okay. So I just go here to support, and I want to search all area articles about the scrub areas. Okay, website settings. What does it say? Don't scrub areas. All right. It is toggled on, and by default, strongly recommended that you leave it on. Okay, well, this one wasn't toggled on, so interesting. When this setting is turned on, it tells kvCore system to look for misspelled or similar sounding locations and group them together under a main location that is widely used. For example, say that a listing agent adds a new property to MLS, but is typing it too quickly and misspells Albuquerque, and kvCore can tell. So, okay, so we want that on. All right. Yes. All right. Hiding manual listings. You are able to create manual listings. So like sold listings or coming soon listings, FSBO listings, you can create on your website, and you can choose to hide them here or not. Use polygons for neighborhoods and schools. I'm going to say definitely no. She looks like she tried to set this up on her own, and you don't want to do this right now. Anytime you choose this option using polygons for neighborhoods and schools, it sort of breaks what you can search on your website and really limits the listings that you can find. So I'm going to strongly recommend you don't use that. Default sort. Right now, she's got it on most expensive to least expensive. I'm going to tell you, you want it on days on a website because you want the newest, freshest listings to show on your website first at all times. And you want it to always constantly looking fresh. So if you choose days on a website, it's going to show the newest listings first at all times. That's what I think. That's what I do. I like the default display of map. And then you can add extra search options in here. This means that when people are searching homes, click here for searching homes. Hi, kitty. My kitty is talking to me, and they go to more filters. Here in the bottom, it's going to offer these additional options. So school district may or may not be one. It looks like it's not for her. Like there's no school district showing. I'm going to try something. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to scroll. Oh yeah, elementary school did show. Okay. If I scroll down, will it show me school district? No. So this is whatever is going to come from your MLS, whatever the MLS allows is what's going to show here. When the MLS allows your IDX to show certain things. So I'm going to do middle, junior, high school. I can do elementary school. I didn't see high school there. Yeah, high school. Oh, high school district. Ooh, nice. Okay. What this allows is then on her website, people are going to be able to search by that stuff. So I'm going to hit refresh here. And it's a good thing we checked that though, because school district wasn't there for her and that's what she had it on. So now, see, now here's all the elementary schools. So it's like, oh, I want to be in this elementary school district or this high school district or this junior high school area, you know, they can choose. So that's, you want to have that. If your MLS or if your MLS allows your IDX to have that information, you'll be able to find it here. All right. So that is basically everything about the settings. I feel like I need to get my energy up. All right, now let's talk about SEO and search areas. It's so funny because when people you know, come to me like, oh, my website's set up. You don't need to, I want you to just do campaigns for me. But it's like we don't do that. We do my full setup. And what I'm showing you guys is basically my full setup to an extent. There's a lot of things we're going to not be able to do, but I'm showing you the way anyway. So if you want to do this yourself, you can. All right. So SEO and search areas. I love my SEO pages. I'll show you what they are. So at the bottom down here, you've got all these pages. You can do it zip codes. You can do neighborhoods and townships or cities, not counties. And so what you do is you add these in with keywords, and then they're here so people can find you. They're more likely to find you because you've got this like dialed in on your website. But I love these pages. I think they're pretty. And so, so here's the title, 49506 real estate. That's a great keyword people might look for. It's going to show the most popular listing, the most expensive listing, and the least expensive listing in that area. It gives a listing summary, statistics, market health, a map, and then other townships or cities associated with that area. So let's say I want to go to East Grand Rapids here. Oh no, that's got the same stuff. Let's go to, let's try Cascade Township. Okay, so I went to Cascade Township, and it gives me again the most popular listing in the area, the most expensive listing in the area, or the least expensive listing in the area. A summary of listings, you know, newest reduced, open houses, stats, market health. So I really love these pages, and we're going to go into these a little more, but let's build them. Let's add them for her. So we're going to go back to Web IDX and Website Manager. And then you can find the SEO here under site content, or it'll be right over here. And so notice she doesn't have any service areas or SEO. It says 0. If you go to her website and I scroll all the way down, you'll notice you might be confused by that, because it shows that there's areas listed here, but they're not actually added to her website associated with her SEO. So we've got to add them. Okay. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to add them all. I'm going to add a few. And I'm going to find, my dog is like working really hard and making a good spot for him to lay down. All right. Lay down, boy. Geez, holy moly, taking forever. Okay. All right. So oh gosh. So she's listed cities here, and then she listed a bunch of zip codes here. I'm going to start with cities. I don't know if East Austin is a city, but we're going to try it out. Sorry. My cat is now, Kitty, he's distracting me. Go on, boy. All right. Try this again. Okay. East Austin. Is that a place? No. Okay. Hyde Park. Is that a place? Okay. Then when you do this, you'll notice it drops down what's going to be available to choose from. You got to be careful about this, because you're like, oh yeah, I want to add the neighborhood. Oh, I want this 101 neighborhood, or this 02 neighborhood, or this Shadow Lawn neighborhood. You can, but you're going to want to be careful because data might not show up. So this must be just a neighborhood because it's not showing as a city. I'm going to keep typing and see. Yeah, it only shows as a neighborhood. And so that kind of makes me nervous, but I'm going to show you, we're going to save it here for a minute. And then I'm going to go hit refresh over here and see if it shows Hyde Park. It's, first of all, it's lowercase, which is weird. And there's no data. So that is not something I want to put on her website. It's going to do her no good. So you have to be careful about these neighborhoods. So let's see, domain is, what's that? I'm going to actually delete this because it's not helping. Domain, is that a city or a neighborhood? I feel, yeah, that's a neighborhood, but I'm going to check it and see if it gives us any good data to show on her website. And if it does, then I will leave it. Domain South End. No data. So the neighborhoods, it's not good. Okay, she might have given me all. It looks like it's all neighborhoods. I'll try this one. Yeah, so she gave me all neighborhoods, which is really interesting. And kvCore, unfortunately, isn't great about neighborhoods. What I'm going to be suggesting to Kay is that she create custom pages with each of these neighborhoods. So yeah, these aren't coming up. It sounds like she really wants to feature these. So what I'm going to be suggesting to her is that under website content, she goes to custom pages and creates a page like Hyde Park or Domain or Rollingwood, Bee Caves, Travis Heights, Barton Spring. And then she maybe she creates a category here called neighborhoods. And then on each page, you know, Beehives will have its own, Travis Heights will have its own, whatever, Hyde Park, whatever the names of these neighborhoods are, will have its own title, be under the category she'll create of neighborhoods, and then create a page with a picture and a little bit of information about the neighborhood and do that. That's what I would suggest. But she doesn't, none of what she gave me is going to work. But what I can do is I can use these zip codes. So I'm going to just show you with zip codes. And I'll do a city. So obviously she's in the city of Austin. So, oh shoot. So I'm going to do Austin. So I want to find just Austin City. There it is. Boom. So I'm going to show you how this should look. So Austin City, and scroll down. There's probably numerous cities, little cities around this, but look at how cool this is. So this is her most popular listing, most expensive listing, and least expensive listing in the city of Austin. And so, and then it gives me all these great neighborhood pages that may or may not have data. So, but she could scroll through here and pick the ones that do have data and use those and add those to her website. But she didn't give me any of these specific cities or areas. But that's what I would suggest to her, is that she clicks on these. If this has good information, this is interesting because it's like basically this is the only listing that shows in that area. So I wouldn't say that's good. But anyway, we've got this one Austin, but the other thing she did give me was zip codes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Stick with zip codes for now, but I'm going to go ahead and add this zip code, and she gave me more. So I'm going to add them. Going to do a few because it's enough to start. Okay. And then what I do is I add keywords in here. Homes for sale, condos for sale, houses for sale. Okay. And I just separate them by commas. And now I'm going to hit save. I'm going to save for each one. Oh, no, it didn't. It's weird. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it one at a time. kvCore is changing. I don't like when it changes. I guess I have to do it one at a time. Fine, Lordy. Okay, so I'm putting the keyword in, words, saving. I have to do it one at a time. Otherwise, it doesn't like it. I just learned. So you put as many as you want, but again, I do recommend cities. We have the one city of Austin so far. We'll add more later. I'm going to get with her and say, give me more cities. But I'll click on one of these. And then here's for this zip code. It's giving me, this is the most popular in the zip code, most expensive in the zip code, least expensive in the zip code, and ta-da, then other neighborhoods associated with it. I like it. All right, so good enough there. And that's super important. Now, how these pages work is that they're not lead generating in themselves. Like nobody has to submit their information in order to look at these pages. There's a couple other things you can do with these pages. I don't have time to go in, but you can add text or HTML, video embeds, neighborhood information. You can add in this area. And type in these keywords to add in more information. You can make this really nice, and it's going to show up at the top of that page. So let's test this one. I'm going to say hello. Okay. And then I'm going to go to the 78702, 78702. This one. And there it is. Hello. So I could write some information all about this neighborhood, embed images, embed, nightlife or school district, or, have all kinds of information in this area. If I wanted to make this a real community page, I could. All right. So, so what's nice about these pages though, is you can share them and people can look at them. And then if they decide like, well, they want to look at this listing, they can go in and see. Now I've been on her site just a little bit looking at properties, but now it's going to ask me to log in. So anytime your system asks your people to log in, they're going to have to do it with this. And I can continue with Facebook. No, I'm not going to give you my phone number. Let me in. And that's how your consumer is also going to be logging in to register on your website. Okay. It's just amazing to me that this home is $600,000 and they can just get these few little crappy pictures. Like, really? You can't do better than that. Okay. All right. Okay. We'll get more into this in a bit. But now we're going to move on to essential campaigns, and I'll just quick look at the chat to make sure there's nobody's on fire. Okay. You can, the keywords, you can do whatever you want, but I do homes for sale, condos for sale, houses for sale. You can do whatever you want. All right. That's awesome that your neighborhood showed up with data. It's better to do cities, and if and neighborhoods, do cities, neighborhoods, townships, and zip codes. But if there's no data, don't. But if you think there should be data, then reach out to kvCore Tech Support and say, this is a really popular neighborhood and it's got, all this data, on my MLS. Why don't you guys have data? Or can you make this happen? You kind of reach out to them and help them do it better. The next thing you need to do with your kvCore to get it set up, what we did so far is we concentrated on the agent profile and setting that up. And then we set up the website settings and got everything dialed in there. And then we added some SEO areas. So these are all super important things. But the next thing we have to do is campaigns, because you guys are going to say, well, I want to add my database, or I want to add, when I get new leads, I want them to have a campaign. Great. We got to add them. It doesn't come default. You have to add them. So we're going to go here to marketing. And then we're going to go to smart campaigns. And you'll notice if you're with EXP, it'll just have this option to use an express offers campaign that you can turn on if you're using express offers. So, but we're not going to worry about that because I don't know if K has express offers. So I'm going to, when I do setups for people, when my team does setups, we have custom campaigns that we install for you, but I'm not going to do that right now. I just want to show you how to set up yourself without knowing how to do any of that yet. So we're going to go here to the kvCore library, and we're going to find some campaigns. I'm going to tell you the essential campaigns that you need. All right. So the first one, there's 2 default seller and 2 default buyer campaigns that are possible in here. Or there was at one time anyway. Oh, this is new. Buyer nurture 1-year campaign. Neat. They added some new things in here. There's this default new lead seller, default new lead buyer. Really, the only thing about these show that there's more touches, but really all it is, it's more tasks for you, the agent, to call or do something with that person or check in on them or something. So when I'm adding default ones, I just stick to the simple. And so we're just going to add to the default seller campaign and then the default buyer campaign, because the other campaigns, again, are just a lot of tasks for you. And, half of you aren't going to even pay attention to your tasks anyway. So I just added the default seller campaign, and now I'm going to add the default buyer campaign. And I'm going to go here to campaigns and see what was added. So there they are. Default seller, default buyer. I'm going to go ahead and turn these on. So now if she gets a lead, she'll have these campaigns working. And let's look at the campaign a little bit. So first you can see what the buyer campaign is. This is the first text they're going to get. This is the first email they're going to get. I have people say, oh, the campaign, it doesn't sound like me. Nobody actually cares what you sound like. These are super short little messages just to get a conversation started with somebody. So I don't want you to worry about it. Can you modify and change these campaigns? Can you create a whole custom campaign? Absolutely. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do any of that right now. So again, I'm going to point you in some directions after this if you want to create your own custom campaigns. But the most important, obviously, are the buyer and seller. Now, there's one other important one. You can see what these how these campaigns are going to start for somebody. This one's going to start when it's a seller. Who is a seller? A seller is someone who has requested their home valuation on your website. And then they're going to become a seller automatically. If they come in as a new lead, then in these two cases, if it's somebody's asked for their instant home value and they come into the system as a new lead, they're going to get this campaign. Okay. The issue is there are a lot of seller leads that come in as a prospect and not a new lead. So when that happens, they're not going to get any campaign. So if you go here to kvCore library, there's another important one I want to point to, and that is default prospect homeowner. Default prospect homeowner is a campaign that's designed for sellers, specifically people who've asked for their instant home value, and they come into the system as a prospect instead of a new lead. And the only, I can't completely describe to you why that happens, but even if the email is valid and there's a phone number, and if it's valid, even though that could be, they might still come in as a prospect instead of a new lead. That's all you need to know, and you want a campaign to start. Okay, so those are the most important ones. There's also an open house campaign you can add. And the way that this open house campaign works is there is an open house app that kvCore has. And if people sign in to your open house with the app, they'll automatically be put on this campaign. So I'm going to turn this one on, and I'm going to turn this one on. Those are really the most essential campaigns. You could dig through more and turn them on. But I'm going to challenge you, just start here until you take the time to learn more about it. And again, I'm going to be pointing you in all the good directions about how to learn stuff. Okay. All right. There's like a closed campaign, but the closed campaign that's in here is really geared towards buyers. So you got to like modify it or change it or duplicate it to make a one that's for sellers too. So in my setup, you get now, I don't remember when we changed this, but recently-ish, if you get my setup, we give you a closed campaign that's good for both buyers and sellers. And the time frame doesn't matter. It's not a time sensitive. You could start at any time after the closing. Just so that they still remember they bought a house with you, or sold a house with you. That's all. As long as the client still remembers that. How about that? All right. So those are your essential campaigns. And I don't think I'm going to have time to talk about modifying. I'm not, because it's already almost 1 o'clock and we're not there yet. So I'll come back to this if we have time. Okay. What I do want to do is talk about custom pages and navigation a little bit. Let's see if Kay has a Zillow profile. I don't know if she does or not, but we'll look. Kay Lindquist. There we go. Kay Lindquist, Zillow. If I just say Kay Lindquist, let's say realtor. So Kay needs she needs to do some work on her social profile, on her digital profile, because I don't even see Zillow. Maybe I wonder if she's never grabbed her Zillow profile. She might not have. So let me just kind of point you to this direction. Okay. I'm going to go to my agent hub. So if you're a realtor, you can create your own free Zillow profile. It shows a Zillow Premier Agent here, but I don't pay Zillow anything. You just create a profile. You create a profile in Zillow, and you do not have to pay to have a profile in here. You just have to pay to get the leads. All right. But you definitely want to do this. And I can view my public profile from here. So this is my profile up here. It says Zillow.com profile Sylvia Dana. This is my profile, and I can make this a custom page on my website, which I did. Here. Ta-da! So now people can go there, and if they want to review me or see my listings or whatever. Okay. The point is I want to show you how I add a custom page. So I guess I'll do this. I'm going to show you how to add a custom page. without the Zillow profile, that was one option. Without moving concierge agent connect, that was one option. I'll show you how to do it with market reports. Here, I've got a couple different categories. One category is real estate news. And under the category of real estate news, I've got these custom pages. Then I have another category called more. Under the category of more, I have these custom pages. Okay. We're going to create a category called market reports for K. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here to WebIDX and website content. And we are going to go to custom pages. And the first thing that we're going to do is go to create a custom page. And how we're going to do this is we're going to be using those SEO pages as her market report pages. And so that's just a nice, easy way to do it. And so if she had cities, that would be great, but we don't have cities. She only gave us neighborhoods. So in that case, I can just do the zip codes. I can do it by zip codes. So I'm going to do that. So the first one is this one, 7802. So here I'm going to just type in 7802. Oh, wait, no. What was the zip code? Sorry, 78702 rather. Oh, Lordy. Okay. And I need to create a new category. I'm going to call it market reports. Oh, it doesn't like it there. Does that? Is that going to do that? Okay, it did do that. It did let me do that. We'll see. And then I'm going to link this to a URL, which is this market report page here. And I'm not going to worry about anything else. I'm going to say yes here, save. All right, save. Did it do it? No, it didn't do that. Okay. Market reports. It tricked me. All right. So there we go. Let's look at this. So it's under the category of market reports and save. Now, you will notice if I go now to her website, it's not here. It's not listed here. And what if I want market reports and her custom pages to be listed under that category of market reports? So now I got to create that. So before I do that, I'm going to finish this up a little bit and add the rest of the zip codes. 48703. 78. Now, why am I saying 4? Because mine starts with a 4. That's why. So 78703. All right. So new page. 78703. Category of market reports. Paste the link like so and save. We'll also do another one. I'm just going to do 3 of them to start. I'll also do Austin, I guess. So Austin. I do recommend your top 10 cities. Okay, just so that's clear. But for K, I only have the zip codes in this one city. So that's all I can do right now. Just as a demonstration. So just work with me here. I'm going to type Austin, select category, market reports, and paste that link like so and save. So we just created these 3 as market report pages, so to speak, but they're still not showing anywhere in the website. There's one more page, I guess, that I want to create for her. I am going to, if I click here and then click on search, it'll have this little free market report guy. Okay, and so this is where somebody can go and search any market they want. So I'm going to copy that, and I'm actually going to make that a custom page as well. Okay. All right. So we want it to look like something like this. And this first one, I like to have first because it's going to say get free market report where somebody can click on this and go there. But notice I had to put a little symbol here to get it to be the first one that shows. So that's what I was looking for. So I'm going to create this new page. Get a free market report. And I'm going to use the little plus sign to start. It's going to go under market reports, and I'm going to use this market report link and save. Okay, so how do I make this go now? So I've got these custom pages, but they're still not showing anywhere. They're all under this category of more, and they're not showing. So how do you fix that? Well, now I'm going to go to my Web IDX and Website Manager. I'm going to edit settings. And I am going to, over here, you'll see where it says custom navigation. If you just want to get there quick, boop. All right, and then it gives me these options. So select custom pages for navigation. I can go through here and put each custom page as a menu item, but then it would really gobbledygook up that menu and it would be too big. So I'm not going to do that. I am going to choose custom categories though for navigation. And so the categories that's available is just market reports. I'm going to hit save and then watch the magic. I'm going to hit refresh here. And you will see now I've got this new category of market reports showing with the market reports here. So now what we're going to be able to do is go and create more market report custom pages, quote unquote, at the top here. So if somebody chooses this, they can either A, go and search for their own market report for their area, or there'll be a few options here, like 10. I'm going to recommend 10, your top 10 cities or zip codes or whatever data you can find that works. So that's an easy way to do that. All right. All right. So some final touches. So I just want to say a few things about what you can do here. So I'm going to start with widgets. So I gave you in the beginning how you can do these kind of fancy widgets, but I want to show you how to do them kind of old school style. So I'm going to go back to my website manager. And this is kind of what we do for people because most people don't have a lender already added to their page. So I'm going to go here to website manager and then widgets. And right now there's no widgets actually on the page. There's just those default widgets, but they're not actually doing, I mean, they're there and they work, but they're just like a placeholder really. And so we're going to recreate the widgets. And I'm just showing you the simplest way. So the first most important one is get what's your home worth. Okay, so I'm going to add that. Okay. And then now, even if you're in Canada, a lot of my Canadian agents are like, oh, instant home values don't work here. Well, they're hardly working over here either. Okay, so automatic valuations don't work that great anyway. But it's a great conversation starter and you can still get a lead with it. And at the very least, you're going to get somebody's address, which is still a lead because now you know who kind of raised their hand and you can find them and you can mail them things. So I'm going to recommend you have that on there. And then maybe open houses or just listed, either one, but I'm going to add open houses. And it's adding maybe, where is it? It's very slow. I'm going to try again. Oh no, there it goes. I just had to wait, I had to be patient. And then the other one I like to add is this default property type widget. So I'm going to add that. And so there's 3 I'm going to do. Now that they're here, I have to click on add and append, add and append, add and append. And those are all going to show up in the order that you add and append them. So if you mess up, then you're going to click clear website content and redo it. And the only website content it's going to clear is your actual widgets. Okay. It's not going to clear, in any custom code you have in this editor is what that's going to clear. Oh, it did something weird. Cool. Okay. I have to redo it because that's still showing. Neat. Okay. So I'm going to clear this website data. Yes. Okay. And I'm just going to do it again. And now if I click add and append, what happens? I'm going to refresh this and see if I refresh that, if that does anything. Okay, then I'm going to go to her website. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. Okay, so there's my one. All right. I don't know why it was acting up on me. I honestly don't. I don't have the answers. So add, append, and we'll refresh this. We'll just do this one at a time. Make it go slow. Refresh. Now there's my 2. Okay, great. And then add and append, hit refresh and refresh. Ta-da! There we go. So now these are the widgets we've got. What's my home worth, open houses, and your default property. Okay, cool. Now you do one other thing to make this look a little prettier, and that's to have testimonials. We don't add them for you when we do your setup, but I'm going to make up one for her just so I can show you. So I am going to go here to site content or website manager, and then testimonials. You can connect Zillow reviews. I don't think that actually works very well, but give it a shot. We're just going to add a testimonial by hand, and we're just going to say Susan B wrote this, and we're going to say Austin buyer. Okay, and I'm going to make something up. Kay loves this city. Okay, I'm making it up, so I just want to show you what it looks like. I can give her the rating of 5 even. Isn't that nice? Okay, let's see what it looks like. All right, I'm gonna hit refresh. And there it is. See, it kind of just breaks up the monotony, and then these will rotate kind of every time if you have several. So that's how that looks. I'm going to delete that because it's not a real thing. Okay, and I made it up. Okay, all right. Let's see. So widgets, testimonials, and then a blog. So you can blog here. And there's a variety, I highly recommend when you click add post, you create your own title, your pictures, you can add content here, links to your website, backlinks. And I recommend you do that once a month. Okay, once a month, I want you to write a blog post. Ask your lender what is new happening with the interest rates, or ask your lender what's a new loan program or changes that are happening people might want to know about. Ask a nonprofit in your area what's new and exciting with them and write a blog post about it. Whatever, write blog posts once a month at least. But I'm going to show you if I can get in there. When it's going to all matter if I can okay. Let's see if it lets me. So keeping current matters is one blog resource you can use. And when you get our setup, we're going to add a couple of blog posts for you, but to get you started. But, I don't recommend that you continue to add these like kind of stock blogs because they're not going to be good for your SEO really, but you can do some things. So, I'm going to choose a couple. So one's for a buyer, and I want to do one for a seller. So we'll do this one. 4 tips to prep your home sale for this fall. So I'm going to open up this one. And I'm again keeping current matters, and I think it's like $14 a month if you want to do this. I don't recommend you continue to do this all the time. It's sort of a cop out. It doesn't give you good SEO, but it's super easy to do, and I'll show you. So I'm just going to copy this post. Boom. Again, it's like $14 a month. And so I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to paste. Isn't that nice? Now I'm going to take this guy and put it up here. Now, what's kind of interesting, it says title must be unique. In other words, if somebody else in my area, in my office, this Epique Realty office has the same title, it's not going to post. So we'll see. But I kind of fixed this extra space so that the picture went all the way up there. And I am going to do a few things for her SEO. I'm going to say your Austin home, because she lives in Austin, and that might help her SEO a little bit. And then I want to go through here, and I need to make sure that there's no links that are linking back to me, because this is my this is my website. So I just want to make sure it's not linking back to yeah, it's going to my, yeah. So what I want to do is I just want to delete that. Oops. So if I hover over that, okay. So I'm just going to unlink that link, and then I won't have that problem. All right, that's going to NAR, so that's cool. All right, we'll leave that. So now it's good. Now there's no links to me, but I can do a couple things to make this more her. I could talk about a hot sellers market like today's in Austin, Texas. I could say, I could add a link to, you know, get your instant home value. I don't have time for all that, but I can do more with this, but this is all I'm going to do now. I'm going to click on publish now and see if it works. Okay, it did. So this means my title was unique enough. Nobody else at the eXp Austin office has that title. So now it's published. And you know, if I go here, you're going to be able to see, sometimes it takes a minute to publish. When we do your setup, we do 2 of them for you so that it's even. So you'll have 2 listed here so that it doesn't look like you have a big blank space. And so we'll finish that for Kay, but I'm not doing that right now. And if people click on it, this is what they see. All right, so we get you started with a couple, but I highly recommend you continue on. All right, so those are some final touches. Now, I just want to point you to a couple things, and then I'm going to answer questions. I'm going to provide resources, okay? I just want to tell you, yes, we do setups and we do a lot of different things. You're going to go to sylviasystem.com and check it out. So, like so, and you can meet me. You can learn about my kvCore setup service. So we give you custom campaigns. We create lead generation. Alexa thinks I'm talking to her. We create lead generating links for you. We do this full setup, and I also have some webinars. So if you want to learn about the setup service, you go here, you learn more, and it's all the things that we do, the bullet point by bullet point, everything we do. Plus, you know, the on-demand training that you're going to get with me, plus the live Q&As that you get with me, just for those who got my setup in their super small groups. And so there's so much value for this, and it's $279 that you're going to get. So there's that webinars. I have some more webinars that you can get. You can watch the replay, because these I'm actually, you know, I'm going to stop doing these soon, because I've done them a million times and I've got the videos on them, but you can just click here to watch a replay right now or register for the live session. This one's a great one, how to leverage kvCore on Facebook, a new agent kit for kvCore. You can watch the replay right now. Why you should or shouldn't pay for a setup. Lots of great information in here about just understanding everything that's going on with kvCore and all the things you can do with it. This one, 5 tips for getting started. I talk more in depth about choosing your domain. I talk more in depth about the vanity domain, teams, multiple MLSs, smart numbers, social media. I talk in more depth in this one, but again, you can just watch the replays. My on-demand training, you can check out. You can get my free class bundle here, but the free classes are here. I talk about social media. So what social media do you have to set up? How about your Google My Business page? What's that? What about video? How can I use video on kvCore social media? And how can I do it for free? How can I create a custom newsletter on my own and send a mass email? I have this class, custom campaigns. You can create a custom how to create a custom campaign, modify a campaign, and trigger that campaign with a hashtag. This is a $5 class, or you can have this class along with several others. In my summer jam, I've added all the classes there now. I think there's like 7 or 8 classes inside that. It's $32. And then my Genie in a Bottle is everything about really using kvCore, you know, working with contacts, understanding what behavior alerts, what is kvCore doing behind the scenes, getting started with lead generation is there. I have a fast start your kvCore here, but you don't need that because you've kind of done it. And so and I've got, links to my YouTube channels here. So those are some great resources to start with. You can also grab my DIY guide, but I'm going to give it to you here right now. I'm going to put that in the chat and I'll go through it. Okay. So I just put that in the chat, you guys. And you're going to be able to scroll down here and see what you can get. The kvCore Fast Start will be a good review to this. But I probably went even more in depth here with just the setup, because I did like my full setup almost in here. Really understanding what kvCore is, watching the replay of 5 tips for getting started with kvCore. And if you register for this, you're going to get this class for free. My on-demand training for Genie in a Bottle, which is really how to use kvCore in general. Top 5 free marketing strategies for realtors, free course, 10 ways to reach your sphere with kvCore, free course with a recording, how to create and send mass email with kvCore, free, how to promote a listing with kvCore is my free mastermind class, masterclass rather. Check that out. Takes you here where you can see, you'll put in your information here and I'll teach you everything you need to know about promoting your listing, working with a lender. So if you, how to get your lender to work with you in kvCore and even help with you, maybe pay for ads. And then how to add a lender to kvCore, use this form that's for EXP agents. 5 things you should be doing with kvCore every day. I have a lead import template, how to import your leads, how, sending the mass email, checking on your contacts, campaigns, search alerts, valuations, market reports, and generating new leads. I've got my kvCore lead generation template here for you. You can have. I've got my lead import training here with the video training, my lead import template, my lead generation template, my campaign copy and instructions. This is older, but it still works. The campaign logic. This is a full campaign training on how to create campaigns, how to understand campaigns. Even though kvCore has been updated since then, the campaign logic and everything else is the same. Okay. Using the demo, watching a demo of using the kvCore app, a link to my YouTube channel, CRMs for Dum-Dums inside workplace, finding the Sylvia System on Facebook, my new agent playlist on YouTube, and all of my other training is here and you can have it. Mark, in my YouTube channel, I have, how to do that. And it's a little bit older, Facebook's constantly changing too. So it's really hard to keep up with everything, but if you watch it, you'll get the idea. We do have a Facebook setup and we do it for you. If you got our Facebook set up. But see if I can. So how to install the Facebook Messenger custom chat widget plugin. I have a thing about that on my YouTube channel. And again, it's from a while ago, but it still works. It's from 2 years ago, but it still works. So you can do it. Otherwise, we do have a Facebook business page set up where we set up your Facebook for you. We schedule out 30 days of posts. If we refresh an old business page, if you have one, and we also add the custom Facebook chat widget on your website. Time really flies when you're setting up kvCore, but we did a good job. And you guys did a good job hanging out with me. There is so much more to learn. I mean, this is just, we scratched the surface on just getting the thing kind of set up and usable. How do we integrate kvCore to listing to leads database? That's a whole other topic. I would encourage you, if you have questions like that, you contact kvCore tech support. That's who they are. I'm not kvCore tech support. You click on here, you say, send a message, I ask a question, and you can ask them that. I know how to do it, but it can take too long to explain. Eva, you know, everybody wants to talk to me about it, but you don't need to. Basically, you know, the best way to start if you want to get set up is let us do the setup for $279, because not only are you going to get what I just showed you, or you're going to get a little bit more, and plus you're going to get access to my training, my on-demand training about how to do everything that you can take at your own pace, and you're going to get access to come on my Q&As, where it's only those who purchase my setup can be on there, and it's a Zoom meeting where you can just ask me anything, and it's a conversation. And Mark, what you're going to do is you're just going to go to this website and you're going to find Presto kvCore setup package, and you're going to opt in to learn all about it. Okay. And again, so you're going to go here, click on learn more, and you're going to put in your information in here, and you're going to see it, and then you're going to order it, and you're going to love it. Okay. And so I would say that the biggest value, besides the setup, people say, oh, I'm set up, or, you know, if I do this, are you going to be able to teach me this? It's like, you know, go and look and see everything we're going to do for you, because I have frequently asked questions there. I have video explanations there. I have the bullet points of everything you're going to get. And I have add-on package options that you can check out. Like, well, you know, what if I get a custom newsletter set up? What if I get my Facebook set up? You can do it as a package, or you can just start with the basic setup and then add on as you go. Okay. Yep. It is USA prices. And that's what it is. Okay. How long does it take to set up? If you go here and you learn more and you read the facts, you will find out. But it's 10 days from the time we get the form that we ask you to do. So I will have people order the setup, and then they get email upon email upon email saying, please fill out this form. And then they don't do it. So as soon as you purchase, you will get access to the Sylvia System platform, and you'll be able to see when you log in, when you're logged in and your account on my Sylvia System platform, you'll see where it says my library, and all the courses that you have access to will be in your library. And you'll start with the Presto kvCore setup package. And I talk about what you get, 5 features, 5 things to consider as you're getting started, the form that we need that we're going to ask you to fill out, facts, when is your setup going to be completed? 10 days after we get that form. As long as your login is correct, did you give us the correct username and password? We'll find out, you know, how to get add-ons, what add-ons can you get, your access guide to get started with your training, you know, for more details, your setup review, everything we did for your setup, understanding the reference guide we gave you for your setup, understanding your lead generating links and what to do with those squeeze pages, how to understand the campaigns we gave you and how to leverage those campaigns, your next steps, everything about working with contacts in a smart CRM, you know, tips for working with your sphere, lead generation using kvCore, getting starting with that, and then your Q&As. And the Q&As are small. They're usually just 1 person or 8 people, but I've never ever had more than 8. And I typically will be like 4 or 5 people at a time, where you can just spend an hour with me and ask anything. And those are unlimited, and I offer them once a week at a variety of times. So basically, yes, there is so much to learn, and what getting your setup from us is going to do is going to reduce the learning curve, because everything's going to get done. And then we're providing you access to me and access to my on-demand training. The price is going up soon. I keep threatening that. I've been threatening it for about a month, but it's true. It's happening. It's not there yet. So right now it's $279. It's going to go up to $349. So take advantage of it while you can.